Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast and your Daily BAAS Buzz. In tonight's story, we have ahead of the midterms, Trump wants the Supreme Court to help on mail-in ballots. Germany promises security overhaul after deadly Berlin pride attack. Iran rules out, residents say. El Nino El Nino threatens to push the world past 2 degrees warming threshold. And in our final rapid story of the day, how Jimothy the Raccoon became the internet's latest animal obsession. Then we jump over to our Hives Gone Wild. Oh. And we see what people are doing on the internet. All right. Let's see what's going on the B cam and give them some food. Let's jump on the big feed right here and let's give the bees some food and see what they're going crazy right now. All right, some food is going to dispense. Oh, there we go. It's filling up this bowl. Let's give them another another squirt here. Come on, that was a hot day. We have 28 degrees here in Calgary. It's just past 7 p.m. We have 30% humidity and a high of 33 degrees and a low of 13. There we go. The bees are starting to get a little bit happy now. They're eating the food. All right, let's move on to our first rapid fire story. This is from Yahoo News. Ahead of the midterms, Trump wants Supreme Court to help on mail-in ballots. The Trump administration on July 22nd asked the Supreme Court to let President Donald Trump tighten rules nationwide for mail-in ballots before this fall's midterm election, as he seeks to exert more federal control over voting. Trump filed an emergency appeal after lower courts blocked the administration from creating a federal list of eligible voters. In June, federal judge in Boston said key parts of the executive order Trump signed in March were unconstitutional. In July, an appeals court rejected the administration's argument. The Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said the changes are already straining the states and would sow confusion and threaten to disenfranchise of many eligible voters. My opinion about this is that the U.S. needs to get their voting situation figured out. They're the only country in the world that has this. Every other place has figured it out except them. In our next story, rapid fire story, Germany promises security overhaul after deadly Berlin pride attack. Germany's interior minister announced security overhaul on Monday after deadly attack near Berlin's pride celebration prompted an angry debate on why suspect driver had not imprisoned at the time. We will get into the story later in our Hive report. The suspect, who was shot dead by the police, was identified as a 21-year-old German citizen, Abdul Ballout, who had been convicted and sentenced to jail time in May for preparing a series of acts of violence endangering the state. We will talk more about this. In our next rapid fire story, Iran rules out U.S. talks as Hormuz Strait remains closed. From DW News. What you need to know. Iran says it's not set out to resume talks with the U.S. Tehran and Washington are not currently holding talks, but mediators remain active. The Strait of Hormuz remains closed. Italy drops taxes on diesel amid oil price pressures. Here in Calgary, gasoline is about $1.85 a liter, which is the highest it's ever been. It might seem not that high, but this is the highest it's ever been. Iraq says it will prosecute any seeking to strike Saudi Arabia from its territory. Trump says he won't allow much time before restarting attacks. U.S. Donald Trump spoke briefly to Axios News on Monday, asked about how long he would. Trump was quoted as saying that Washington was in a very deep talks, seemingly contradicting outward claims of Iranian regime. Well, it doesn't matter. All right, that's been your rapid fire story. Our next rapid fire story, swarm. Gunmen attacks a community in Nigeria and killed 30 people, residents say, from PBS.org. Gunmen attacked a community in northwestern Nigeria, killing at least 30 people and injuring several others, residents, on Mondays, in the latest violence in the conflict-hit region. The attack occurred late Sunday night in Narodon village in Kadadun State's Kara Council area, said Derek Christopher, chairman of civil society group of Southern Kadadun Peace and Security Network. The same community was attacked last year around this time, Christopher said in a statement, suggesting the government has abandoned any intention of protecting the area from attacks by armed groups. I don't know who these people have left to fight for them, he said. In the past, Nigeria has been in crosshair of the U.S. government, which has accused the Nigerian government of not protecting Christians in the country, leading to diplomatic rift. The U.S. launched attack against alleged Islamic State group members on Nigerian territory December 25th with cooperation of the Nigerian government. All right, people, let's take a quick break and look at the bees and see what they're doing. As you can see, they're going inside these little crevices and trying to eat all the all the little syrup that I dispensed here. Let's give them a little more here. Let's see. I hope the device is still working. All right. It looked like it was dying on battery, so I'm worried that the liquid dispensing thing is dead on battery. But all right, let's go back to our main stories. From Bloomberg.com. El Niño threatens to push the world past 2 degrees warming threshold. Oh my God, what is this going on here? I'm not it. Okay, we gotta see this story somewhere else. Bloomberg. A powerful El Niño already beginning on the roll weather around the world may push the monthly global average temperature past 2 degrees for the first time on record, according to projects listed by University of Miami-based Ocean Atmospheric Research Center. The probability that single month early 2027 passes 2 degrees has reached 35%, 40%, said Ben Kurtman, Dean of Rosaline School of Marine Earth Science at Miami. That's a large probability, he said. That's really large. Maybe that's what people don't appreciate. The odds of the month that 2 degrees hotter than pre-industrial levels increased significantly in recent weeks as meteorologists up their estimates for current El Nino. Well, there you have it, folks. by 2027, we are projected to hit 2 degrees global average temperature, reaching a new threshold. Now, for our final rapid fire story of the day, how Jimothy the Raccoon became the internet's latest animal obsession, from the BBC. Do we have any sound here? I don't think we have any sound. All right. Well, we have this. Okay, we should have some sound. Oh, no. Damn it.
Thought that he was a cat, and just got my phone out because what am I looking at? I initially thought that he was a cat, and just got my phone out because I love cats. And then when he emerged from the car, I realized he definitely wasn't a cat. I was seeing some kind of gray, fluffy creature that was shaped sort of like an orb with really long legs. We literally just saw him and was like, he looks like a Jimothy.
Huh. Well,
what am I looking at?
so this raccoon has become viral online of being this odd-looking raccoon. So they've named it Jimothy.
I initially thought,
wow, hilarious. Look at it. Got this little stubby little body. Well, that has been your rapid fire story swarm attack of the day. Now moving on to our Hive report from the BBC. Anger as Berlin Pride attacker revealed to have been freed weeks later. In Germany, there is grief, shock, and increasingly anger about the attack at the Berlin Pride Saturday night, which left one Polish woman dead and injured at least 29 others. The main suspect, Abdul Ballout, a 21-year-old German citizen with Lebanese heritage, was shot and killed by police on Sunday. German's Interior Minister Alexander Dubruth said Ballout had previously drawn attention to himself through a high volume of criminal offenses, radicalizations, affiliation with Islamist scene. As details emerge about his criminal convictions, many are asking why Ballout was not in prison. Prosecutors say that in 2025, Ballout decided to try to join an Islamic State group's armed struggle in Syria, traveling via Turkey to Lebanon, and in Lebanon they say he met with several people he believed were members of ISIS. ISIS. He was arrested in Lebanon in July 2025 and sentenced to 3 months in prison for incitement to religious and sectarian conflict. Then in November 2025, he returned to Germany, where he was arrested at Berlin Brandenburg Airport and held in pre-trial detention. In May this year, a Berlin court sentenced Ballout to juvenile sentence of 1 year and 10 months for preparing a serious act of violence endangering the state. The sentence was suspended while prosecutors appealed against the verdict, calling for a longer sentence. The Ballout was released and placed under supervision of a probation officer. Interior Minister Dubruth told RTL that the decision to impose a suspended sentence was certainly incomprehensible given the level of danger involved in this case. He said the authorities were investigating how that happened. Berlin's governing mayor, Kay Wagner, from the center-right Christian Democratic Party, CDU, said he was dumbstruck that the way the Berlin judiciary had handled the Ballout's case. So this is where the person So the person was shot dead in Spadua, and the attack was happened in just outside of Berlin. And this is obviously on the east of Berlin. He was sentenced under juvenile criminal law, he told RBBN TV, and then unfortunately the court handed down a suspended sentence. I don't want to pass judgment on that. That's the independence of the judiciary. But I'm really at loss for words. The opposition far-right Alternative for Germany AfD party described the attack as a total failure of security policy. If an Islamist threat known to the police was able to carry out such an act, a thorough investigation must have been carried out to establish why he was still able to move out freely in the first place, said Martin Hess, the ADF's Home Affairs spokesperson. According to Der Spiegel, a Ballots told the Berlin court that this spring that he had distanced himself from the extremist ideology and violence. Thomas Muir, an extremist expert at Violence Prevention Network VPN, told ARD television that he had met the suspect. He said the Ballots had given social workers a very composed, very cautious, very controlled, and very friendly impression. And those are precisely the criteria where we realize we really get to know, we can't really get to know the person, he continued. Some have called for Germany's laws against terrorism to be made stricter. Peter Newman at King's College London told ZDF that Germany's criminal law on terrorism is too lenient and sentences too short by European standards. He also called for a rethink of Germany's juvenile justice system, which he said prioritizes education rather than protection of the public. The Home Affairs spokesperson for the center-left Social Democrat SZB, Sebastian Fiedler, told Deutsche Landfunk Radio that criminal law was not the problem, but it was the way it was applied. We need to look more closely at the way Ballots still at large. Another key question is what actually happened after his release from prison? Who was he still in contact with? Although he was under surveillance, there was clearly a gap in the system. Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz said it was too early to say what political consequences will be drawn from the attack, but promised there will be action. We will have to respond with prudence, but also with determination. He said if an individual classified as threats could not be detained, their freedom of movement should be restricted as much as possible. I cannot understand how I can track my mobile phone from anywhere in the world, yet is it supposedly impossible or technically unfeasible for security authorities in Germany to determine whereabouts of individuals classified as security threats to the same extent. He said he had asked the Interior Minister to review the laws regarding monitoring jurisdiction. There we go, people. This guy is going to ruin it for everyone and create a total surveillance state. I mean, we love cameras in the places that we live. Everybody wants a camera in their car. Everybody wants a camera in their house, especially if they got something secure. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be very hard to convince people for a surveillance state. In other news, here is a video from what is called a young singer from Germany saying that she hoped that the attacker was a white Christian instead of a foreigner. I will do the translation. Here we go. Getting the news that the car sped into the SCSD, a man in a car. And what was also shocking, that at first thing I thought hopefully it's not a foreigner, and hopefully it's a white Christian person, but it wasn't. And there where intersectionality shows itself again. We aren't all fighting against the same thing. And we aren't all fighting against, we are the same for it. In moments like these, I feel for others. Here's another clip. The queer community naturally feels threatened and above all by right-wing forces. I also heard that time and again that at the demonstrations during interviews I conducted, well, there you have it, folks. It is insane. This is insanity from people in Germany. She had hoped that it was not a foreigner. So, getting the news that the car sped into the CSD parade, a man in a car. Hopefully, it's not a foreigner, but it wasn't. We're all fighting. Hopefully, it wasn't a foreigner. Hopefully, it's a white Christian person, and that's. But it wasn't, and that's where intersectionality meet. This is insanity. The video comes from Julian Adrat from X. Translation from some sort of news channel called Steven Crowder. All right. Yeah, so this is what happens, people. We, instead of the attack being treated for what it is, we have people coming out and saying stuff like this. She hoped that hopefully it was a white Christian person, but it wasn't. Excuse me. All right, that has been your Hive report of the day. Comment down below what you think. Now let's check on the bees and see what they're doing. So if you look very closely, you can see some of them bringing in some bee pollen. And they're dunking their heads in, trying to get that whatever liquid there. Let's see, maybe we can. Yeah, it definitely ran out of battery or something. Yeah. All right. Now let's move on to our Hives Gone Wild. And here's our first video, Hive Gone Wild of the day. Time out. Here comes the ice cream man. Hey. Wow. They attacked him with an ice cream truck. Incredible. There was an ice cream drive-by. So for anybody that's listening on audio, we have an ice cream drive-by with a group of people pulling up an ice cream truck and attacking another group of people. And then the people that got attacked were successfully defending themselves with machetes and bats. Well, sorry, they had a machete, the other group had a bat, but then the bat has been confiscated from the ice cream truck drive-by attack. All right. Incredible. Let's watch the next Hive Gone Wild. Here we have a video. Starbucks employees exposed that Starbucks is using blended powder. This new powder has just introduced this month. If you drink Starbucks, you should be concerned about this. This blending powder consists of gum arabic, amyl, maltodextrin, xanthox ground natural flavor, silica, and stevia extract. The reason why they use it is because it imagines that would otherwise happen soon after the drink leaves the blender. Starbucks employees have been making videos saying it makes their throats hurt, makes them cough, and makes their head hurt. The silica is silicon dioxide and acts as an anti-caking agent. This is very controversial ingredient for health concerns, but it is also concern for the Starbucks employee because inhaling it is dangerous. Fine silica dust can become airborne when powder is scooped. Prolonged or repeated inhalation of certain forms of silica is linked to serious lung conditions like silicosis. This should not be put in drinks we consume. Our food is a science experiment. Quote, Starbucks workers united and individual baristas have publicly raised concerns since powder's introduction around mid-July. Reports think let's see what this is true. Starbucks workers united and baristas have raised what? Is this real? What the heck? This is insane. You're gonna make me log in. Is Starbucks really doing this? Yes, the active issue raised by Starbucks United the product role of Starbucks introduced a new beverage blending powder used to stabilize texture, especially blended drinks. The physical reality: baristas across multiple locations and social platforms such as Reddit and Blue Sky have pointed out that the powder has made extremely fine consistency when scooped and dumped into blenders during high and easily billows and becomes airborne. The ingredient concerns. The powder contains silica dioxide, food-grade silica as anti-caking agent, alongside thickeners like gum arabic. Oh my god, this is insane. So let's watch the video here.
Okay guys, so this is the we're gonna be testing out the blending powder because as you guys know it's toxic.
So that's the powder. And okay, yeah, so I'm seeing it, it's becoming airborne. It's very clearly becoming airborne very easily. Oh shit, look at that.
It stinks so bad.
It stinks so bad, she said. And it just became this goop. Like that slime. Why would someone want to eat that? Or drink that or put that
Too. Like, this is like y'all are eating whenever y'all get
A lot of Starbucks employees have been complaining about this quote blending powder, and it's going in more and more of their drinks. And let's just take a look at what it is. So here are the ingredients right here, and the purpose is it acts as an emulsifier and stabilizer, like the blender. So basically, they're using this so that the drink stays exactly how it was when it was made. But there are real health concerns that go along with this. And one thing I'll say is that I've seen a lot of videos of baristas at Starbucks coughing. They say that this is hurting their throats. This powder has.
So this guy just like talks about what we're talking about. So that's insane. Did you guys see? Let's watch that again. So she's like, it's like a very I don't know. This like there is no cuts. Like it just goes, she just blends it right away. Well, actually, there was a cut right there. Okay, that's interesting. So, okay, I don't know, maybe they did something to it because there was a cut. And it goes from, like, all dusty to not. So, well, there you have it, folks. All right, for the next Hives Gone Wild. Woman goes viral for Usher show for refusing to kiss him. Wait, it's gonna get copyrighted. So, all right, so we got Usher now singing to a lady here, and the lady refuses to kiss Usher on stage, publicly humiliating him. You know, this probably doesn't happen to him often, so this, you know, this, or maybe he might have liked it because it doesn't happen to him often. She just rejected he just tried it once, he's going for another one, and then she just looks, oh no, she's just backing off and just smiling. Why is she up on the stage? And then he just turns around with an awkward face. Okay, wait, let's hear what he said here. We can probably listen to that without getting copyright striked. I don't think she want to be in the stage or something. Look at his face. He's baffled here. It's like, the fuck? Look at him. This is some bullshit. Who brought this? Who brought this hoe? Who brought this up? All right. All right. Let's go on to the next Hive Gone Wild. This MMA fighter pulled a smoking cigarette out of his shorts and smoked it after KO.
Pies góry, liczymy, osłonić się kierowcą, i Mato kaptensywę parterową ze strony Portugalczyka, a potem namierzył głowę.
Oh wow. So a man just beats another man, and now he's up on the stage of the ring, and he's just jumping up. And he's pulled it. He had it the whole time in there, just tucked away. He's like, death or live, I'm going to smoke it. I don't care. I don't care if I get caught. I need it in there. I'm gonna, you know, he could have had anything in there. He could have had a little needle thing, and you know, his coach smiling. This should have been. How did he get that in there? He pulled it out of his pants. What the hell? He could have had a little needle in there, and how did they not find it? Did they give it to him? I think someone must have given it to him. There's no way. Of course, someone had to give it to him. Let's see here what happened. All right, he runs off. We don't see, there was a cut, so we don't see what happened. He lights it. I think he's lighting it. Yeah, he was just lighting it. It looked like he pulled it out of his shorts, but it was just, I think he's just lighting it. Well, there you go. You have it, folks. Polish regional MMA fighter Bratojo Bucket Boy Skrivaja pulled a joint from his shorts. Oh, he did. So he did pull the joint from his shorts, lit it inside the cage after scoring a second round knockout in Gliwice, Poland. Well, there you have it, folks. I was misspoken and did not read it right. He did pull it out of his shorts. Now we're going to move on to a heartwarming story from our Hives Gone Wild. A terrifying rescue unfolded at California Beach when a young boy was caught in a rip current during dangerous surf conditions. A lifeguard battled massive waves to bring him to safety while beachgoers looked on disbelief. Wow. Oh my god, it's a giant wave. This lifeguard just goes head first into the wave, holding this kid tight to his chest so they is to get him out, and he knows what he's doing. So the kid, we got a second person coming to help them. And then we got a third person. The kid's fucking, this is insane. Oh my god, these waves are huge. You know, if the one wrong wave can come through, suck you in, and that's it. That's it. It's all over. Now you got more people. They're trying to create a chain, and they left. The chain did not work. Oh my god. The kid's just out of in shock, or just he can't freaking get out. He can't get out. He has no energy. He lost his shorts. This is insane. They got him out though. We got another one. Got more people. Someone someone give the kid a shirt, man. Wow, what a amazing story here of this kid being saved. Thank God. But yeah, that's just these waves. They're just so. Look at like how low it is, and then boom, you get covered. Look at it. And see, this guy knew what he was doing too. So it's like some sort of technique. So because you're not gonna run from the wave. You gotta go with the wave or something. So look at him. So he knows the wave's coming. He's just chilling. Look at him. And then duck right at the last minute. Because there's this pocket airspace that gets created. And then he's able to not lose his footing and energy, and he's able to walk up. So that's what the lifeguard was doing earlier. Look, he goes head first into, look at him. Right at the last, that's so incredibly strategic. Look, he's holding the kid, and he's like, oh shit, you can't escape the wave. Head first. Do we see that, folks? Should we slow that down? Or we can't slow it. Incredible. Incredible. Okay, incredible. Let's see what the bees are doing. So you got this guy here. They're really trying to get into it. Oh, it is what it is. Let's see another Hive Gone Wild video. We have some time for a couple more. Walgreens become war zone. Whoa! Oh my God! WWE. Damn. Yeah, we got very rotund women just beating the hell out of each other. And there we have now a more group of rotund women attacking one another. I wonder where they get the energy from. You know, you'd think that you don't have that much energy because you're so rotund. And it's a lot, but they're very energetic and very athletic for their rotundness. Oh shit! Oh, get it! Oh, oh my God! Fire extinguisher! Lord Jesus! Oh my god, we can't be showing this. This is a family-friendly show.
Okay, yeah. Oh shit, damn. Damn, Big Mama get good. Get right, Big Mama. Big Mama, get it, yeah, get it.
This is
Okay, they right here thumping too. Okay, TT, get her.
now they're fighting outside. They're fighting the police and shit and the security. God damn.
Right. Oh,
Everybody's getting fucked up.
I'm my granny, don't do it. Wait, watch out.
Yeah, watch out. Yeah, why are you getting involved?
Tell him who the shoes, nigga.
Oh, security. This is it. This is it, folks. This is what you get in the United States of America. Walgreens turns into a war zone. That's right. Let's see what these sound effects, LMFAO.
How you doing? I'm pretty good. What's up to you? Looking at your bike, motherfucker. You seem to be in quite the hurry. Why are you driving like that? Your mama fucked me good. There you go. He's a man.
We know this is an old video.
She happy to be with
We're gonna
you.
get beat up.
Give me that. Like a crazy bitch. Get the fuck out of my shit. What's up? What's up? What's up? Get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to fight you. Get the fuck away from me. Get out of my face. Back up.
Back up. Back up, man. You don't get in people's face like that. That's what's gonna happen. The more you try to find out, the more you fuck around or something. Or the more you fuck around, the more you find out. Oh my god. Breaking news. Man hospitalized after dangerous fall. A teen had been rescued Sunday by lifeguards at Sunset Cliffs after injured while jumping from a cliff ledge. A video posted on shows a 17-year-old jumping off the stick, striking the edge of the cliff, then landing in the water. At least 6 people jumped in after him to help. San Diego lifeguard pulled the teenager out of the water and took him to a hospital around 4:30 p.m. The extent of his injuries are unknown. Video appeared to show a teenager conscious, sitting at the cliff ledge surrounded by several people arrived to help so that he's safe. Wow. Alright, we don't need anything to chat. Man confronts ICE agent in Chicago.
What's up? Again. Step back. I'm on a public.
So there's a man confronting an armed agent, and then now he's getting taken down by the armed agent. And he's fighting back. Oh, and then we got more people, more armed agents attacking the man, and they got him. And that's what happens, people. Don't get in an armed agent's face. Whether you're in US, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Mexico, whether you're in China, whether you're in Africa, South Africa, or East Africa, or wherever, in Nigeria, or in Europe, or in Russia, people, because they don't mess around. All right, this is, I don't know why I clicked that. Is it? New footage from Tate Brothers' arrest has been released. This breaking Tate Brothers arrested, but this already happened. This is new footage apparently. This is separate footage. What's so new about this? Well, that's not interesting. All right, we are going to do migrants. All right, this is a story about flock cameras.
All right, just when you think flock safety is the worst thing that we have to deal with right now, Axon and Ubiquia have come out with flock's replacement already being installed in many cities around the U.S., and they plan to have them installed on over 60 million light poles. That's every single light pole in America within the next 18 to 24 months. I'm going to post another video on this because I tend to have a lot of videos go mega viral every week. So me posting a couple of these, it just enhances the odds. Guys, take a look at this video and let me know your thoughts. They are going to be installing surveillance cameras.
So just for before we get too deep into it, if flock cameras, there are these new flock safety. Flock Group Inc., doing business as Flock Safe, is a privately held American manufacturer and operator of security hardware and software, particularly the ALPR, Automated License Plate Recognition Systems, and mass video surveillance, gunfighter locator systems, and supporting software to integrate data gathered by these technologies. As of 2025, Flock operates over 5,000 communities across 49 U.S. states and performs over 20 billion scans in U.S. every month. In 2026, Flock Safety relocated its headquarters to the Medici, an office building north of previous 1,400 square foot headquarters in West Side Provisions District of Home. Well, privacy concerns and potential misuse. Privacy concerns have been raised with respect to ALRPs generally, including Flock systems. Additionally, Flock surveillance and models had spurred debate. Flock's surveillance technology is often criticized for its broadening of public surveillance and effect of civil liberties, as described by privacy experts and organizations like Electronic Frontier Foundation and American Civil Liberties Union. The EFF argues that the ALRPRs create more problems than they solve. In March 2022, the American Civil Liberties Union released a report criticizing Flock safety business model and products. In 2023, the ACLU acknowledged some uses of the ALPRs could be acceptable, but emphasized the need for careful control. And there you have it, folks. That is what flock cameras are. Now back to the video. There's no audio.
Okay, take a look.
Thanks, Rick. So at Ubiquity, our mission is simple: to make the world smarter, safer, and more connected. We actually do that by leveraging the existing infrastructure that's already in the ground. That's 60 million streetlights in the US and actually 450 million worldwide. And we make them intelligent. We built a reputation with more than 900 cities and utilities for turning ordinary streetlights into extraordinary tools for public safety. Our UB Hub platform is easy to install, simple to relocate, and built to scale, allowing police departments to deploy and expand their video and LPR capabilities quickly. And today, we're excited to announce our collaboration with Axon Lightpost, creating together a powerful streetlight-based platform.
Lightpost people, they're taking Use of light posts.
video surveillance, and LPR, all integrating seamlessly with Axon Fusus. We believe this will be a game changer, giving law enforcement more eyes and real-time intelligence where they need it and when they need it. Here's a brief video to show you how we do it. Guys, do you research on these companies? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share.
Yeah. This is incredible, people. This is what they're doing. Slowly they're rolling it out. But as I said earlier, everybody wants a camera for their house, for their car. Everybody wants a safety deposit box for their money. We all want security for our loved ones and for ourselves. But when it comes to the public, we want that to remain not surveilled, which, the issue comes, I think, was if they do increase surveillance, is crime going to go down and society going to get better? If that is the case, yes, it will be a good thing. But what people are worried about, that usually does not happen, where they use the surveillance as a control tool rather than an enforcement tool. Or like they don't capture just like what they're doing right now. There's so much crime going on, and they rather focus on things that are deemed people are getting arrested for stuff that they post to social media. And then we just read an article about a person that was released in Germany for they were a criminal. They were trying to join ISIS, and they got released early, and then they attacked and almost injured 30 people, killed one. And so it's going to be very easy to convince people to get this installed. I think it's not going to stop, and it's only going to continue. Now, let's move on to our bee story, but let's just check on the bees for a second, see what they're doing. So like I said, I think the battery on the food dispensing mechanism ran out. We'll have to fix that for the next episode. So they're just trying to go crazy trying to find food. But we're gonna extract honey on them soon, and we'll have videos of that as well. But let's move on to our bee story of the day from The Guardian. 2 million bees escape after truck carrying hives overturns in Texas. So 2 million bees, there's about 50,000 bees inside one beehive. So, we got about 40 colonies here, 40 colonies worth of bees that are missing. Yeah. 2 million bees escaped after a truck transporting their hives overturned and released the insects into Texas Sunday. The accident happened near town of Mauriceville in the east of the state, perhaps not surprisingly, causing local emergency officials to warn residents near the mishap to stay indoors. Everyone lives in the affected area. Please remain indoors. An 18-wheeler carrying beehives was overturned, and there's heavy presence of bees in the area, a local Orange County emergency service said in a statement. Photos posted Online of the accident showed beekeepers dressed in white protective clothing working amid huge clouds of bees, including vast numbers that were clinging to the nearby trees. The U.S. busy roads often see unusual loads involved in accidents. Earlier in June, a truck in Tennessee hauling fireworks caught fire, and its load triggered a spectacular impromptu display. In March, 40,000 pounds of extra firm tofu was spilled in Missouri. In August, firefighters responded to a crash in which a truck carrying a huge load of ribeye steaks bursted into flames. The Texas bee episode was dealt with fairly quickly. Orange County Emergency Services posted an update later on Sunday saying the bees were transferred to local beekeepers. Crews are continuing to safely transfer the hives onto transport trucks, which will be hauled to local honey farm, he said. It added residents in the immediate area are encouraged to use caution. And there you have it, folks. Your bee story of the day. About 40 colonies, just man. So an 18-wheeler turned over. I know this happens often. Let's see these photos posted online. Oh my, holy crap. Oh, it wants me to log in to Facebook. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh my god. Look at all the bees. It's literally collapsing the branch. The weight of the bees. Some of the people are commenting here, that's a lot of bees. What do you do in this situation? You can't find the queen in the mess. Do you just... And then the person replied, yes, that is what we're doing. I think the chance of queen making through all of this is slim to none. Wow. Wow. Can you believe this, people? I mean, I have a picture I could show. Picture here. Of the swarm that I caught on a branch. Oh my god. What am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, let's check this out. So if we go to Instagram, and I can show you guys. Check this out. Come on. Check this out. Check this out, folks. So this is a swarm that I caught in a tree. And it's nowhere, that's like the picture comparison is incredible. Like, dude, the difference here. Like, come on. Look at that picture compared to, it's like 30 times the size of mine. Look at that. Wow. So, you know, they love to do that. They'll go inside of trees and stuff, but they broke the little branch. But yeah, that's been your bee story of the day, folks. Tell me what you think of this episode, what you liked, what you disliked. We are going to come with a brand new episode tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time again. Don't forget to join us. Let's do a check on the bees. They're loving it. They're really trying to go for that food, but there is none. We're really got to fill it up or fix the battery here. But yeah, folks, enjoyed this episode and join us tomorrow.